7. You guys all ready? I'd like to call the Oglesby City Council meeting to order. Before we do roll call, I did get a call from, I talked to, sorry.
Sorry, Jason.
We do roll call first usually.
I know.
Commissioner, I talked to him a couple hours ago. He is not feeling well, so he's not going to be joining us tonight, so I hope he feels better. Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Here.
Udis. McDermott.
Here.
Stefani.
Here.
Kern.
Here. Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, number 4, public comment on agenda items only. Seeing that there are none. Number 5, approved minutes from the November 6, 2023 City Council meeting. The minutes seem to have a little bit more detail in them. They have some summaries in there. Does anybody have any additions, removals, recommendations, or changes? If not, if I can get a motion to approve.
I'll approve the minutes of the November 6th, 2023 City Council meeting.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Stefani. I'm not order, sorry.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Number 6, approved bills as presented for payment in the amount of $696,130.43.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Number 7, approve November 10, 2023 payroll in the amount of $113,793.34.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Number 8, building improvement grant applications. This is our facade agreement things. We had 3 projects that come under here with them. I don't know, do we want to go through them in order, or do we want to just talk about them, or just kind of talk about the summary from the building improvement grant? I don't think there was any, from my understanding, is there was no issues. Is that correct? I don't know if we have summaries in the packets yet, do we?
We do not.
Okay, but from my understanding is that they're all recommended, there was no issues or concerns?
Correct.
Okay. Anybody want to talk about them at all? What they bring, what they are?
I have a general question.
Sure.
Does the money get issued before or after the work is completed?
So that's a great question. Usually what it is I believe the way the grant states is after, I don't know if it's after. I know it has to be approved.
Don't they have to present bills, Becky?
They have to present the bills.
They have to present invoices. They have to present.
Yeah, so I would say, Tony, that would suggest to me after the work is completed.
So I think I know what Commissioner Stefanelli is leading to. So right now,
Well, Commissioner Stefanelli would pretty much tell you, but go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, please.
No, my question is, okay, I could put in for one of these grants and say, okay, here's invoices for materials, but the labor is not completed yet. And okay, we write a check for materials and then the labor never gets done. That's what Commissioner Stefanelli's asking, so that's my question.
It's a good question. I thought you were referring to the fact that this is currently we pay it out of TIF, and we never really did talk about where we want to appropriate to if the TIF one goes away. Right now, we have a project for TIF. These sites are going to be put back into TIF 1 eventually after the TIF attorneys get everything done and stuff like that. But until that happens, where are we going to pay for this money out of right now? So we can go up until December 31st. So I thought that'd be your question. That is a great question.
That is one of them, but
That is a good question.
I got one. How do we decide on what percentage they get? Like, you have the first one gets 35,000. That's, how did it come up to 35,000?
That, I believe, is in the grant.
Percentage then?
Would you like to
Yeah,
Yeah,
explain it?
please
please.
go ahead.
So, the facade grant has a formula, and there are caps. And for the Dahlgren's building, for a couple of reasons, it has the highest cap at $35,000. It's one of the new categories that we created. We refund, or we give back 75% of, and it's $35,000 for anything that has a 75-foot facade or larger. That building's been vacant for a long time, and so it meets the requirements just phase one of the building.
That's just phase one,
That is just phase one.
Supposed to be 3 phases.
so there's 3 phases.
They only get 35,000 total. Correct? They'll only get 35,000 total.
This
Right,
is one time
The
only?
next phase is gonna be inside, which we typically wouldn't, wouldn't do with a grant.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think you bring up a great question. Do we need to make sure that when we approve these, we approve that with the caveat of they get paid not just when they present a bill, but when the work is actually completed? I don't have a problem with that. And usually this is already wrapped up with the invoices and stuff like that, but it makes a good point. In this case, it's just paying for materials. You guys want to do that instead?
I think that's probably the most reasonable way of doing it,
Yeah.
because then what's to stop somebody from going and buying a bunch of material and saying, I ran out of money, and I'm gonna go use these materials down at this other building that I own that's in the next town over.
I'm gonna sell it.
We have,
you
and
know.
then what that leads to is we have to unfortunately pay the attorney to go chase somebody down and do work that isn't productive for our city. So I'm just speaking, looking out for the city's behalf that, I mean, I'm sure all these folks here are well-intentioned, but all it takes is one. And
The grant
do
requires that the work
inspections?
is completed.
What's that, say again?
yeah, if
The
the work
grant
is
requires
completed,
that the
Yeah.
work is completed.
Pat, let me ask you this. I seem to remember that when we did these, eventually they come back up again where we have to approve it via resolution. Isn't that correct? We used to do?
Usually we do, and usually we see the bills at that point too, don't we? Or at least the committee does.
I'm trying to remember the order of operations, if we just approve this first and then eventually there's a resolution for the money to go out. Is that?
I believe that there is some sort of resolution or ordinance required because it's TIF money.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're just approving the applications at this
Okay.
point, Jason?
All right. If nobody has any questions or concerns, I'll take motions to approve them.
I
Okay,
don't
I
think
got
we're done
one
with
more
questions.
question.
Okay.
I got one more. Do we wanna approve them separately or all together?
We can do them separately if you like.
You can do it either way, Mac. You could prove them all together, but if you have questions about one or more of them, you could do them separately.
The reason I ask that is because the resolutions are usually separate. I remember the resolution
Right.
usually happens.
But you're just approving the applications at this point. So
Okay.
you could approve them in mass if you wanted to. The resolution should come separately, I think.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
I do have another question. What, is there also some sort of a, caveat where, I mean, you take somebody, they're putting $209,000 into the building, getting 35,000 from the city, and then in a year or two, they go and sell that building for twice the money. We just help them basically put money in their pocket. Is there any safeguard for the city?
So we did put some safeguards in. I'm trying to think of, I don't have the grant application package in front of me, but that was one of the concerns. I know the clerk and I had lots of discussions about that when we were looking to make this new modification. The concern I had is that someone would just gain equity in a building and then just sell the building and move away.
Mhm.
So I think there was a lot of precautions we made, and I didn't, I don't have them off the top of my head. I have to look them up for you then. Unless you remember what some of those things that we did that stopped that.
I don't
Can we,
remember exactly.
look
what
at them
they
before
were.
we approve them, or do they need to be approved tonight?
I would be inclined to approve the application itself,
Okay.
but as far as any final action, I think my questions are on the record. I think we all
Yeah.
share the same concerns here, if I'm not speaking out of turn for you guys.
Yeah,
May I
I'd like to look at them.
Please,
I mean, do you mind?
please.
Mayor Kerr and I had talked about this at great length. If we award a grant for 35,000, that work still exists even if the owner sells the building. So we still gain the benefit from a nicer building, more property tax. So
This is where we had a bit of, her concern was you still get the value out of improving the tax base for the building, which is true. But I think the concern I was concerned about is most people want to know, is a business actually coming in and improving itself for a working business?
Well, if I understand Stefanelli correctly, you're talking about if somebody just turns up, sells the building for twice as much, walks out, he's made a profit.
Yeah, I mean, all I'd like to see is that the city has some kind of a safeguard in place that we don't get taken for a ride for
That's right.
taxpayer money. I mean, I'm all for helping a business out if they got intentions of making downtown
Absolutely.
beautiful, putting money into the building, but I just would like to know that, the intentions are 100% genuine and that the city is covered on their end, because unfortunately, we're the ones up here that gotta make those calls.
We gotta have a safeguard.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing in there that's gonna stop somebody from wanting to sell a business or something like that, as we saw with, for example, the root beer stand. Root beer stand they got money as well. That's why I think the only application in there that's in there is, the stipulation is that they have a requirement to be attached to a business of some sort. It's just not just a building being improved.
Mhm.
I think we need to do our due diligence and prevent something like that from happening. $35,000 in the construction trades will go a long ways for materials and improvements to where it'd be well worth their while to sell that property immediately thereafter and make a buck of a gain on that, so
Okay.
I think we should have something placed in there.
So do we want to approve the applications with the intent that we're gonna look, make sure that we think
Yeah,
that
I don't wanna
facade-
hold up the application
Yeah.
process, because I'm not trying to steer away business. I just wanna know that before we make a final decision, that the city's money and the taxpayers' money is well used, that it's handled the right way.
Okay, well, how about we approve the applications? We'll take a look at our facade, because I think there is some stipulations there. I don't know if they have everything that you're concerned about. And if they don't, we can always look to see how we can modify that to improve upon it. Does that
So
sound
be-
good? Okay,
And I have a suggestion about modifications if you go there.
please.
You could do a recapture agreement, where if it was sold over a certain period of time, you forgive so much each year or
Yes.
something like
I
that.
think something like that is in there for the higher percentage yield
The
one, right?
higher percentage is actually, it's not paid out all at once.
That's right,
It is paid out, over a certain period of time.
that's right.
But
So-
that's if the building is vacant, and
Hmm.
they're putting a business into it, so they would qualify, because they're running their business out of, we're talking the Dahlgren's building.
Now, okay, so now I remember a little bit. So the original way it stated was when they got 50%, they would get that money after all the work was completed. The ones that were a business that was vacant, they would get the money, but then they would not get the other, I want to say the remaining third or something like that, until the business was operational after so much time. It might not say 2 years or something like that, but it says a time frame they have to be operational, I believe. But we can take a look at that in a little more detail. Okay?
Thanks, Pat.
No problem.
All right. Can I take a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge,
Aye.
McDermott,
Aye.
Stefani,
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Number 9, refer Babs Brews, Kelly Walters variance request to Zoning Board of Appeals. Do you want to speak to, who do we, because I don't think you have the report yet from the building, from the facade, or not facade, the zoning board, or,
So that, this, request has nothing to do with the meeting
okay,
tonight. This, they have a site plan, the engineer has looked at it. There are 3 things that they'll need a variance for to, be able to move forward. So,
Do we-
this is required to,
I heard there was some issues that they brought up in regards to like the site plan or something like that. Does any of that have a bearing on the variance request at all?
the only thing that would have a variance is they've changed their site plan. If they were to add something that doesn't meet, the land development code, then they would need an additional variance. But I don't believe that that's gonna be the case.
Do we know what the variances requests are?
I think
They're in
Becky
your
does.
packet.
Yeah. And we're thinking about doing the zoning board and the plan commission meeting on the same night still, Becky,
And
right?
perhaps even the design review board, because they did not.
And I have communicated with the chairman of both of those committees, and we're targeting probably the 11th of December, I think. They didn't want to do it the first week. One of them was out of town or something. So, yeah, we're talking about the 13th, which would be a Wednesday, or possibly the 14th, is what the dates are that those chairmen are suggesting.
I'm looking at what's in the packet here. I don't see anything.
The 3
It's
variances
number
are
5.
stormwater management.
Okay.
Land development code requires that lot has been like that forever, so, a separation between the,
Drive-through and residential property lines,
Okay, that's good.
landscaping, screening, and lighting.
right.
Okay. So if their new site plan says nothing to do with that, I guess, are we looking at that it should still just go to the zoning board of appeals for the variance request at the least, I assume?
Yeah.
I believe that we can address the three issues they had if they give us a site plan that creates another variance, they're just gonna have to go through that process separately.
Well, in that case, do we want to hold off until the site plans? Because I think we have 60 days to give them their variance hearing, or zoning board of appeals for the variance hearing, is that correct? So if there's a chance that their finalized site plan is going to change that, should we be waiting on this then?
I think we should actually wait until everything gets, they get all the ducks in a row. Let us know.
We
So
can
to
wait.
Well, I mean, and so,
This project's been on the shelf for a long time. I think that's why Becky and I would like to keep it.
I'd really like to
I don't
see
wanna hold
business.
anybody up, but I'd like to see that everything is presented and provided as to what's being proposed. You
Right.
know, when you say, all right, here's where I'm starting, and then now I wanna add this, this, and this, well, then it's like we have to go back to the drawing board. Just present what it is
Yeah.
that you wanna do, everything laid out, so it saves everybody's time that's involved in the process, and then we move on with the process.
I'd hate to have a zoning board meeting set up for it, and then just to find out that we need to require to do another one right after.
Yeah, because we have to publish,
It's gotta
the
go in the
proposed
paper, right?
discussions, right?
Then
So
I'll make a
we
motion
better
that
have
we
all the
agree.
discussions in one publication.
If we approve, it doesn't mean we have to go out for the next day or something like that. So we could send it to the,
You can send it to the zoning board of appeals, and we would just wait to set the meeting up when we know if there are gonna be any additional
I think
variances required.
that makes sense to me. What do you guys
Then
think?
we'll just
I'll
wait
hold
or-
off on the publication then, Becky.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys wanna do that?
I think we ought to wait until we get everything in a row.
So what do you wanna do, table it then?
We can make,
No, I want you to make a motion to refer to the zoning board of appeals and the plan commission on the next one too.
okay. Well, you want us to put a stipulation in there that after they get their final site plan in?
Correct.
Okay, we can do that. You wanna make that motion?
I
then?
think that's fair, yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair,
after
because then
the
we're not
final
wasting
site
We're
people's
not
time.
waiting 2 more weeks if it all comes together.
Yeah, if
I'll
they,
make a motion to refer Baz Brews variance request after their final
updated site plan.
update
is that
and
what-
site plan and everything else, then we'll put it to the zoning board.
I'll say.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Number 10, refer site plan review of Babs Brews, Kelly Walters to Plan Commission. Same thing, after final site plan comes in? Want to do the same thing?
My suggestion.
Okay, if there's no discussion, if I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion that the site plan review of Babs Brews goes to the planning commission after the site plan is completely updated to reflect everything that was proposed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye.
Thank you.
Number 11, Illinois Municipal Insurance Cooperative IMIC renewal.
All right. So what this is this is our insurance. We're in a pool with a dozen other cities, and it's a self-insured kind of thing. This is actually what I do on my off days, my second job. We experienced a renewal rate increase of 28.73%, which comes out to be about $62,051. And the largest increase is in workman's compensation, which increased from $68,971 to $99,929. And it's due in large part to our claim history over the last 4 years. I think the ambulance accident probably had quite a bit to do with that. The other thing is that's relevant to that is that when we recently did our appraisal of the city's items like the buildings and the property, the vehicles, all that, our appraisal value went up, so we're technically worth more in that regard. We had an increase of 35 million more of the value of property insured, so that has, a big part to do with it too, so.
We're better insured.
Yeah, I mean, we're better insured, but we're obviously insuring appropriately because, it's like saying, to put it in layman's terms, if your house is valued, if you had to rebuild it today and it's valued at $500,000 to build it, why would you insure your house at $200,000? It doesn't make sense, so naturally, if there's an increase in the value of what we have, then there's gonna be an increase in what we're gonna have to pay premium-wise, so. um,
Any questions, concerns on that? All right, I think it makes sense, we gotta make sure we ensure what we have, so. Anyone wants to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Number 12, Malik Substation Equipment Bids.
I'd like to make a motion for approval of the lowest bid from B&S Schuler of $432,480 with a lead time of 40 weeks for the Malik station.
I'll second that motion, if nobody has any more questions on it.
Nope, I think we put it on file last time. These are for getting all the equipment pieces, the extra little pieces and stuff that we need to do to get the second fee. Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye?
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Number 13, City Hall renovation, approve estimate from Five Star Flooring. So, where did that go? I don't know if we've talked about an estimate before, so I don't know why it says approve, but,
It says that because it's under $20,000.
Okay. What, can I ask what we're looking to
I'm going to
modify?
explain it if you'd allow me.
Please.
I'd like to update the citizens and council on some of the latest information in regards to the upstairs renovation. We have received a very generous bid, and I would like to move to accept that bid of $18,200 from Five Star Flooring so that the flooring can be ordered, get acclimated, to be used as soon as possible. I'm waiting on 2 Oglesby contractors to give the bids to demo, insulate, drywall, and paint the 2 walls and wallpapered areas. We need to install an ADA compliant doorway here for our executive session meetings. This will also allow us to have a respectable place to hold meetings with prospective businesses in a more professional setting. We are also awaiting another bid to possibly construct new desks. Please keep in mind that the first bid I presented months ago was for $36,000 for the desks alone. I don't expect the total cost of all of these mentioned products to exceed $45,000 of the already allocated $75,000 in TIF funds. Please accept this as merely a courteous informational update. I have also provided the plans from Chamlin and Associates showing our intentions of soundproofing the executive session meeting room. I believe this needs to be executed as quickly as possible so that we are allowed to utilize our leftover TIF funds. With that, barring any questions,
So, a couple things. This is the first I'm seeing this, and we really should be having this up on the board if we're gonna be looking to make some modifications to City Hall here. I mean, I asked for this when I saw it on the agenda Thursday, Friday, and then today, and it was presented here like 30 minutes ago.
we've already discussed this at a meeting before.
Yeah, we did. And what was discussed was on September 5th, Baldridge said he felt that the council should come up with the overall plan rather than just making changes at will. Baldridge said he would gather more information and get back to the council. So, I mean, if that's the information, this is great. I'm excited about that. But one of the things we talked about in that last meeting was modifying the the only thing I thought that really needed to get done was, I mean, this is a light, in my opinion, to be able to get this council dais here solved. But one of the important things was the clerk's office needed to be enlarged, and I don't know if I see that on there. Is this on that?
Jason, I would like to inform you, I'm not a project engineer or developer at this point in time in my life. I'm
Okay.
only allowed to do a certain number of things with my free time. At this point, I'm bringing forth what I do have.
Okay,
And I have not redeveloped the entire city council here yet.
but you're asking for approval of something, right? You're not asking
Well,
for this on file.
I'm courteously asking you for approval. I do believe I have $20,000 that I could spend if I did want to do that. I've been very courteous here to bring this forward and
Yeah.
ask for that approval from my fellow council members.
Just because you can spend up to $20,000 a pay period doesn't necessarily mean you can just constantly improve $18,000 at
Am I
some
doing
level.
that? I
Well,
believe that's what I'm asking for.
Well, I don't even know what you're looking to do here. It looks like a layout of our current plan.
This is for flooring,
Yeah.
Rich? That's what the bid is. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get some clarification here.
I have a hard time approving anything if I don't know what the overall plan is.
Okay.
I think, in my opinion, I'm just saying, I think we should look at some stuff of what we're gonna do here. I don't know if I agree that we need to have a conference room necessarily on the main floor. I know you and
Sure
I
you
have had this
don't.
conversation before about ADA compliance and stuff, it's really just for the publicly accessed areas. So,
Are you insinuating that possibly we don't have someone on our current commission right here that has a possible
I'm not,
handicap?
I'm not saying any of that.
No?
That's not what I'm
Well,
saying.
then why wouldn't
Say
we
we wouldn't
provide
be going
it?
downstairs.
I mean, I think this would be the opportune time for us to discuss the differences of opinion and work towards it. What I had said at that meeting, and you can go back and look at those minutes, was that when you start doing any renovation, just like if somebody pulled a building permit for a public place, they have to meet ADA compliance requirements. It's not an option. It's not, well, I'll do it today and I won't do it tomorrow, or I'll do it on the first floor, but I can't do it anywhere else. If you pull a building permit, ADA is factored in. And that's when I had brought up the part about, okay, well, up here, people go in and out of the clerk's office on a regular basis. It's like a party in there. We don't have a conference room up here. We're marching up and down the stairs if we have to meet with people, unless it's somebody meeting with the mayor.
Mhm.
So that's what I had said, was that, okay, you're gonna have to have a 36-inch doorway, and you can turn that into a conference room.
Well, one of the things I did talk about, I don't know if I talked about it at the meeting, but the old vault here, I don't know how much we'd want to modify
We're not
that.
gonna sit in the vault, Jason.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna wanna sit in a vault. That's record storage, and I would keep it.
I'm just saying, for things that we don't have to absolutely modify, I mean, we talked about not spending.
We
all this
understand your
money.
reluctance to move out of that office. I
I
totally
mean,
get it. But
I don't know what, first of all, you can hear everything in that office anyways. I don't know why
if-
you'd want to.
If you would allow, we're taking care of that. That's why we've called
Okay.
professional carpenters in here to
Well,
take
how
care
much
of
is
that.
that going to cost? So you want to convert the mayor's office to a
I believe,
conference
like I
room?
said in my statement here, I believe it will, I know for a fact it will cost under $45,000 of the allotted $75,000 in TIF funds.
Well, I mean, obviously you can do what you want, but my thought process is,
Matt,
if you're
you
gonna
have anything to
apply,
say?
if you're gonna look to approve anything, there's no reason we should be bringing this up just tonight to approve. You know, the public hasn't even had a chance to take a look at it. We don't even know what the total project cost is going to be. I think if you know the total project cost, and you have a final design plan, let's put it up there and see what people think about it. And if you wanna spend the money on it, spend the money on it.
So let me ask something for clarification purposes here. If there's something put on the table that's a final proposal with a number attached to it, we can get together and have a vote on this and decide what we're gonna do? Or does this have to be drug on meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting?
Well,
I mean, what is it that you want in front of you that's gonna make you happy? Cause I'd like for us to move on with something like this
well, I
where,
would like
you know,
some,
I'd like to see a nicer city hall by the time we leave here. I think everybody that gets elected to one of these positions wants to leave a positive imprint of what they did in their time. And I think for all of us, we should all be able to agree that if we made some nice improvements here and gave City Hall a nice little facelift within a reasonable amount, that everybody should feel good about that.
so to answer your question, I think we should have paperwork and estimates and design plans and all that kind of stuff like that.
If you're concerned about money, Jason, I think you're gonna be putting a lot more money into all that stuff there. Like I said, my profession is not a project manager. I'm trying to do my due diligence here.
Okay.
Keep this cost low. As I stated in there that you probably didn't listen, they gave us an estimate of $36,000 originally. I have this entire project to around $45,000 at this point, I do believe.
Well, you say
And
you
I think
believe that.
That's pretty good.
Well,
for it
because
being
things change,
ADA.
Jason. In the construction world, prices change drastically. You never know.
Well,
You
he
can't
makes a
tell.
fair point, because even with our stuff for the Malik station, did that stuff not go up?
It did.
All the materials, so that's the times we're living
Well,
in.
the thing I'm concerned is you want to approve a part of the project, which says it's 18,000 and it's flooring, but there's nothing in here that talks about the walls, the design, the layout, any of that kind of stuff. I think if you're going to do a project like that, you should have it all put together and let the public know, and we'll go from there.
Mac, would you like to say anything?
Well, I think it needs to be ADA approved.
I agree.
Okay.
40,000, that's not bad. I understand first stage would be fixing the floor, okay, right? Is that correct, Rich?
Yes.
And, we need to make this ADA accessible. If you're going in stages, I think it's good that Baldridge brought it up. It's under 20,000. Let's move forward and get this done.
I mean, I think if your intention is to lock it in at a good price like that, you're doing the right thing. I mean,
As
I
I
think what
stated.
happens is, if you wait, then we end up with the same thing as, you know, electrical upgrades and everything else, where the price is one number today, and then you can almost double it in 2 months from now. So if that's the intention, I have no problem with what you're proposing if you're locking in a good price.
So for example, Marseilles is doing obviously something a lot larger, right?
Yeah, like an entire new building.
So if you read what they put out there, you know, they talked about it for months and hours of discussions. I don't know what the hours of discussions were, I just know that's what the interview said. So hours of discussion and for many months, right? And here we are, it's not even a completed plan, really, it's just it's a drawing of our current building. And then $18,000 for floor. Now, we're not changing out the entire building, but we are making changes to it. I don't know why it's gotta be.
You're talking
on the-
millions of dollars, millions of dollars. You're comparing that to $45,000.
Nope.
That's
I'm just saying,
ridiculous.
give the
That's
opportunity.
not even a comparison,
Okay,
Jason.
I'm just saying, my
Not even
recommendation is
close.
give the public the opportunity.
Thank
to
you
see
for your
what they're doing.
recommendation. With that, I make a motion to approve the flooring bid tonight for Five Star Flooring in the amount of $18,200. Then I would also like to place on file the Chandler plans and a request for approval of an additional $25,000 of TIF funds to allow for the modifications at our December 4th meeting.
Motion's made.
Second.
Understand this is ADA, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm all for it.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge,
Aye.
McDermott,
Aye.
Stefani,
Aye.
Kern.
No. All right, number 14, we are Oglesby request.
I move the table the R. Oglesby request. They've come up with another solution.
Okay, can I get a second on that motion to table?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge,
Aye.
McDermott,
Aye.
Stefani,
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Number 15, rename disc golf course Starved Rock Disc Golf. Commissioner Baldridge?
I'd like to make a motion to officially name the disc golf course. Wes has asked us to remove his name from the official name. He has, however, been acknowledged with his name on the course signage. This naming coincides with the official opening next week and is part of Oglesby's new marketing strategy. Again, I asked a motion to officially name the disc golf course Starved Rock Disc Golf.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge,
Aye.
McDermott,
Question.
Stefani,
Aye.
Kern.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Mac, I thought I heard you.
It's okay.
Number 16.
I thought you said you.
Number 16, place on file the 2023 tax levy and schedule truth and taxation meeting. Do you want to talk about this, Commissioner Stefani?
Well, certainly. So our projected tax rate will be $2.10 per thousand, which is higher than last year's $1.59, but lower than 2021's rate of $2.38. The amount the city will receive is approximately $1,540,000, an increase over the $1,082,343 the city received the last year. The increase is attributed to a couple things. TIF 1 expiring in 2021, that provided a shortfall, so the city didn't see as much. And then last year's rate was artificially low because of an error that was made when the levy was prepared. So unless there's any questions on that, you know, we have to levy more, but a lot of it is gonna go to the IMRF stuff, police pension, things that we can actually capture, so that we're not having to transfer money out of other accounts for the shortfall.
Just a couple things I wanted to help clarify with this. Everything is correct there. The difference between the tax year 2021 and 2022 is when that TIF increment came off, the city never levied against that new available EAV, right? So if you look at what the tax rate was in Oglesby, it actually dropped significantly. And so the good news is the EAV is so good, and the increase was so much that even with this new increase that we're doing, the estimated amount is gonna be at 2.105, and the old one in
2021 was 2.38.
2.378, yep. So the point is, even though with this relative, it seems like a large increase, but the tax rate's actually lower than what it was 2 years ago. So, any other feedback, questions, concerns on that? And we are putting it on file a little bit early. Usually this is done the first meeting of December, but because we have the truth and taxation hearing that we have to schedule, we thought we'd give ourselves a little bit more wiggle room and get it on early. So I think both are actually on there. Do we have a date that we want to schedule the truth and taxation hearing? Do we want to do it?
We're gonna do it, I think, at 6:30 before the meeting on the 4th,
Okay.
is what Becky and I have been talking about. And
Okay.
they'll also have an abatement ordinance that night too, for the 2013 bond issue, which I think I already prepared and sent to Becky as well.
Any questions, concerns over both of those items? And if I can get a motion for both of them?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, just so the motion's for put the 2023 tax levy on there and to schedule the truth and taxation meeting for the 4th of December. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's
Okay.
what's on the agenda. That's what I'm making the motion for.
Okay, all right. Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Number 17, old business, electric department bucket truck.
On the bucket truck, I would like to reject and rescind all bids. Allow it to be sent to the auction with a $5,500 reserve bid.
Okay, so Pat, do we need that in two separate motions, one to reject all bids and then
Yes.
the second one? Okay, anybody have any questions, concerns over that? I think it's a good thing. We have those bids sitting out there for a while, so if we're not gonna accept them, we should probably reject them and then move on and go do something different, so. Okay.
Probably a good idea.
All right, do you wanna make both motions then,
Yes.
please?
Make a mo-
Reject first, maybe.
Make a motion to reject and rescind all bids.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. And the next one.
I'd like to make a motion to allow to send the truck to auction with a $5,500 reserve bid.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Next item under old business is Open Meetings Act inquiry by the Attorney General's AG's response to Attorney Barry's response. Who put this on?
I put it on since we put it on the last one, and now we got correspondence back. If there's any discussion or anything you want to report, Pat?
No, we did get a letter from the AG saying they were sending a letter to the complainant to offer them time to respond, and that's where we sit as of now.
Okay. Do we know any more, or do we need to discuss this any further?
I don't know what there is to discuss yet, because the first letter was asking the council to provide a response, or its representative. The next letter was to the person that put in the concern in the first place if they wanted to respond.
And that's where we're waiting right now.
Are you gonna respond or no?
I don't know yet.
Do they have a certain time limit?
They do.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's 10 days, if I'm not
Something like
mistaken.
that.
Probably 10 business days.
So we should hear something by the next meeting.
Well, maybe not. Once the 10 days expires, then the Attorney General's office can look at all of the information they have and make a decision whenever they want, Mac. So we don't have any control over that. I don't think this is a difficult review, though, so I think the answer will come pretty quick. I feel confident in that.
No problem. I'm sure we can discuss it further when that comes, so.
Any other discussion on that? Okay. Number 18, new business, liquor license ordinance. So there's really two elements with this. Back in the middle of May, one of the things that we fixed, well, we thought we fixed anyways, was to remove the, I forget what the name of the item was, basically the requirement to be residents inside the city for the manager. I found out, though, there is another section of the liquor license ordinance that does make, there's two references to it, so there's a second section for it. So we might need to fix that. Plus, the other item, there's really two. The other item is, we have another request for a Class A liquor license in the city. It's the Jorge's Waffle House that's wanting to come. The problem with it is we have 20 liquor licenses issued right now. The 20th one is still being held by Cindy's. And my understanding is it's unknown if they're going to rebuild or not yet, but they have the right to hold the liquor license, obviously, because they paid their dues, and if they want to rebuild, they're guaranteed to have their liquor license. So the only other way I know around this would be to extend it up to 21. Does anybody have any thoughts on either one of those items?
Yeah,
How many do you anticipate extending it to? I thought you guys agreed to stop it, I don't know, a year ago or so.
No, 2 years ago, what the concern was, and I was a commissioner at the time too, I thought it made sense, because there was a lot of concern for some of the bar owners and stuff like that, that if we would just keep allowing anybody to come in to open up either a bar or a place to be able to use basically the gaming machines that they would get, that would water down their business. So that's one of the reasons we decided to put a limit on it. So the limit wasn't necessarily to stop businesses from growing, it was the fact that if a business ever wanted to come, they would have to put the reason before the city council to extend it. So I'm still on the same thought process. To me, I don't have any intention to allowing just another bar atmosphere to develop in Oglesby. I think we have more than enough of that, but if there was another business that's coming in for a restaurant or anything like that, then we should expand it and open it up and allow them the opportunity.
Being in the liquor business, I would like to extend them the liquor license with the prohibition of having poker machines, if that's possible.
I don't think it is.
Then I ask not to do it. You have 20 bars in town. If you can't find a place to have a drink, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, it's not that it's a bar, it's a restaurant,
Okay?
but they have a light. So I mean, I'm not gonna, I don't wanna stop other restaurants from being able to open. I mean, would you wanna stop an Applebee's or
And I guess we should have been a little bit more stringent with our other liquor licenses.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Say
I
it
think
again.
we should have held the other liquor license to a little higher standard instead of just having 20 of them in a small town like this. It seems a bit excessive.
I have a different line of questioning, but whenever you guys are,
Well, go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, I'm raising my hand trying to
Go
get in
ahead.
line here. Okay, so Cindy's is holding a license and they don't have a building. Now, you as the liquor commissioner, and Pat, please weigh in here. How can somebody just hold a liquor license for hostage like that? Don't you have some sort of discretion as to, okay, when it comes time to renew it, we can't renew a liquor license for an establishment that doesn't exist?
Or how long is
I
she
think
allowed
you
to
can do
hold?
it then maybe, and I'd really wanna research that, Tony, but my guess would be you could do it then. But that license was issued to her for a certain period of time.
Sure.
It's hers.
And I'm not trying to
You
take
can't do
anything,
anything about that.
I'm not trying to take anything away from her, because if you guys give me a second here, I'm gonna tell you what my position is on it. If there's a liquor license out there for a building that doesn't exist, then, and you have somebody that's coming in with a business that wants to put in a restaurant or something, I have no problem with taking that license, giving it to the person that now is gonna be functioning there. We're not changing anything, we're not adding licenses, I think it's totally fair. Now, if Cindy wants to come back in and wants to rebuild, and she comes before this council again, my position would be that, okay, hey, you just put all this money in, you rebuilt, you showed some dedication to this city, I'm inclined to up the number of liquor licenses from 20 to 21 if they're willing to do that kind of thing. But I don't think that holding this last license just in limbo like that, when you have a business that's coming in, is a good idea.
And when does it come up for renewal? In May?
I believe it's May 1st.
So we got a long time.
So I had this conversation with Pat already on this, because that was a concern of mine. As the liquor commissioner, that, what can I do? I got another liquor license out there, right? And it's not being used, I mean, the building doesn't even exist. The fact is that they paid it, and they have the right to the land to rebuild yet. Now this change is completely different, I believe May 1st of next year, if they're gonna apply, and there's no building to even apply it to, my recommendation would be, that we extend it to 21, and then next year, if Cindy's has not been rebuilt and that liquor license goes, I'd recommend that the city reduce it back to 20.
I'd be agreeable if it was in the form of an ordinance. I mean, I don't wanna just have
Or some kind-
casual
It has to
conversation.
be in the form of an ordinance.
I'm
Some
saying those
kind of
hard
commitment
numbers.
from Cindy saying that she is intended to come back or something. Can we have that?
Well, you can't put that. in the
Are you
form of-
really gonna tell the restaurant after a year to give me your liquor license? Who were you kidding? You're not gonna do that.
No, not if they're already existing.
I
but
do
if the building-
believe there is a provision that states something about being in operation for 60 days. If you're closed for 60 days, I believe your liquor license becomes invalid.
I'm not familiar with that, Rich, but I could certainly check it out.
I
You
think
looking at
that's,
the
I think
code?
it's
I'm
something we
trying to
need to
find
look
it,
into
yeah.
before we make a
Municipal
decision
code
on
or
this.
our
I
code?
believe it was the municipal
Definitely.
code.
It could be in the state liquor license law too. I can check on it. You wanna table this for?
Probably, I'd say when
consideration?
we have those answers, it might be easier to make the decision, because the one liquor license in limbo is really what's throwing it off.
Well, I'll be honest, if, I don't wanna hold up this business from opening. I never wanna do
I
that.
think they could still
When
open,
are-
they
when
just
are they
might not
gonna
be
open?
able to serve booze right away.
When are they looking to open?
I don't have a date yet. They never give me a date. But they put their, application in. So it doesn't have a start date on there. when they're looking to start. But here's what I would think, if it is true that we can invalidate a liquor license for a building that doesn't exist, I'd be inclined to do that then.
I've seen liquor licenses revoked.
Yeah, but I went to a whole training on this up at IML, it's
It's usually
crazy.
used to activity.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
Serving
crazy.
minor or something like that.
Right, fights and that kind of.
And then there's this whole arbitration process that they get to go through, it's pretty crazy. But I don't know. To me, they didn't do anything wrong, but the building doesn't exist, so that would be interesting to know. So do we wanna just table the whole thing another 2 weeks, or what do we wanna do?
Well,
I'd say,
let's table it and
Okay.
make a
yeah,
motion if
gives you
Pat
Pat some
makes
time
sense
to
it.
come up with.
I'll give it a look.
As a reminder, there is a
Thanks,
second,
Pat.
there is a second issue with this whole thing. Remember the first issue I mentioned, where there's a second part of the provision that also has residency as a requirement? It's buried somewhere in the thing I found.
Did you find it, Jason? 'Cause
Yeah,
I
I-
looked and I didn't find it again.
I sent it to you in the email. I highlighted the section.
I didn't see
So the
that.
part that we removed was, there's a part in the application where it says they have to state how long they've been a resident of the city.
Right.
We removed that section and just
Right.
simply said,
State your address.
put your address, that's it. There's another section that says, liquor licenses will not be issued to, and then it gives a whole bunch of stuff. Before they get to crimes and all that kind of stuff down there, one of the first items it says is, anybody that's not a resident of where the business is operating.
Correct, because you either need to be a corporation, if you continue to read down that list after that,
Okay.
Jason, and then you can issue it to a corporation, but if it's an individual, they have to be a resident of the city.
And I think it was in the.
So the way most corporate clients get around it is they incorporate and then they apply and they
Form
don't
an
live
S
in the
corp or
city.
an LLC, and
Yeah,
that's,
so I don't think we have that conflict, Jason, but
Okay.
we can look at that
Well-
again. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so how about we just table it all, then we'll look at both of those items,
Okay.
figure out what we can find out, and then we'll go from there if we need to extend the licenses or not, or go from there.
I think that's a
the
wonderful
way to
idea.
go.
Everybody on board with that?
Yeah,
Okay,
That's what we need.
I'll move to table.
okay.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Okay. New business, add attribution items to agenda items. Who added this one?
I did.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'd like to ask the council that going forward, we be allowed to place the name of the member who requested the item to be on the agenda. This follows suit with what other commission forms of governments do and presents everyone with knowledge beforehand of who placed the item on the agenda. I'd like to make a motion for that if there's no arguments.
So I think what you're talking about is the section I brought up a couple weeks ago, about modifying how the agenda looks. I think what you're talking about is something like how Ottawa does theirs. Is that what you're referring to? I actually don't think there's an issue with that. I kind of like the idea, because one of the problems is when you see the agenda here, because we modified it to where anybody can add anything to the agenda, you don't even know who put it there. So if you look at Ottawa's, I think correct me if I'm wrong, what you're referring to is theirs goes into, when it goes into the action items, they do the action items per basically that commissioner's department as they go down the row. So that way you know which department it's referring to. I don't have an issue with that. But if we're gonna modify that, I'd like to modify the other things that I put forward as well. You know how like, what is it?
That's not part of this. I was
It's in,
only asked to make that modification.
it's in the same thing. It's in the same ordinance.
Well, what is it?
I don't have it in front of me. It's the one that talks about what the agenda is, how you lay out the agenda. Remember the one I talked about? Because right now, we're supposed to have unfinished business instead of old business.
Mhm.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
I was gonna try to make it look more like what we do, but if we wanna add those sections as well, I think that'd be fine.
That's good.
I mean, even if we're taking small bites out of the apple, I think this is a positive, because then if it's my agenda item, you can just say, okay, number 14 on the agenda, whatever it is, Commissioner Stefanelli. Commissioner Stefanelli can talk about it. If it's Commissioner McDermott can talk about it, and each person gets their turn, and we have a nice, we get business done. I don't see a problem with it.
I don't have an issue with that either.
So if that's something we can all agree on, I don't see why we would hold it up.
So,
Yeah.
so the motion is to send it
We can do both.
to Pat, see if we can make those modifications to I forget which one it is offhand, but it was on the agenda a couple weeks ago, but I didn't have the part about the.
Does that need to be like an ordinance or something?
It is an
Yeah.
ordinance.
Is it?
Is it in the ordinance?
It talks about the ordinance, like right now, it says like opening a meeting, roll call. I don't think it says pledge of allegiance. It says bills, minutes, has something weird in there about the building improvement committee. And then it has unfinished business, public comments, and adjournment. It's very basic. It's the original one from like 1920 something.
And you want to amend that to include?
The things that Rich is talking about here. And then I'd like to make it look more like the one, so I can send you the last thing that we talked about at
Okay,
everything here.
because I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about,
It's-
Rich,
For each
but
agenda
if
item.
need be,
Pat,
I'll
it's
reach out to you about it.
Section 2.03.120, members' rules of the municipal code, and then the order of business is subchapter D, where it's roll call, reading of minutes, reports, communication from Board of Local Improvements, and so on.
Yep.
So,
And what
that's-
is it you want to add, Rich?
The names next to each agenda item that you have placed,
That's it, though?
and then
Well,
unfinished business.
Jason had some too.
I would take a look at, like, for example, I think what he's referring to is like, if you look at Ottawa's agenda, how they break things out, they break it out between the Department of Accounts and Finance, and then they have their action items, and then it moves on to the other ones. Basically, is how it kind of works. And the other thing I was just trying to do is, for example, we have old business, and if we're trying to be correct, the thing actually says unfinished business, so I was just trying to
Okay.
resolve some minor things. Okay. Did we do a motion in a second on that yet?
No. I'd like to make a motion to, prepare the agenda.
What number was it? Rick?
this is, number 18 under new business, add attribution to agenda
Oh, no,
items.
the
No,
ordinance.
the
Oh,
ordinance
the
number.
municipal code?
Yeah.
It's,
Hold on.
2.03,
Just
point
one
120, I think,
Section B.
section D, members' rules. Yeah.
Okay, can I get a second or
I'll second that motion.
roll call, please?
Baldridge.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye?
Stefani.
Aye.
Kern.
Aye. Number 19, public comments over any topic.
Jason, if I could, please. I found that ordinance. It's 5.08.190, continuous operation. Any license issued under this chapter should be kept in continuously in effect and used in an operative business during the period for which it is issued. And when such business is abandoned, closed, or for any reason becomes inoperative for a period of 60 days or more, the liquor commissioner
It gives you the authority to
may
revoke.
revoke
Do you
the
want
license.
to second check all that stuff? If that's the case, then we can.
No, I think Rich found it, and this is in your code.
Okay.
If it's inoperable for 60 days, you have the authority to revoke it.
And that's not
I
something-
would think you should probably call her and just,
Okay.
Yeah, and if she comes back, I've said this on the record, if she comes
Find out what
back
the
and she
plans are,
wants to
Jason.
rebuild, I don't think there's anybody that can make a good argument that if they're gonna build a whole new building there and wanna do a restaurant again, that you wouldn't give them a liquor license, so.
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want to make sure, verify that before, and that way I'll give her a call, because
Yeah, I think you should call her and find out.
I hate to talk about this live, because
Yeah, no,
that
I get
that
it.
basically lets the public know that if I'm going to call somebody, and if the answer is no, that they're getting revoked.
Well,
Okay,
Good job.
apologize. Public comments, please, sir.
Yes, I do have. I've got a couple things here. I'm going to ask the council to consider a recycle event this spring. It's been several years since we've had one, and
Already done, Mayor. We got you covered.
I did something, and I was going through, and I made a copy of the Oglesby City Council minutes of October 16th. They're really kind of bland. The motion was made, second, approve the minutes. There's nothing in there about any discussion or anything. And I guess my question is, why doesn't the Oglesby City Council want an open and transparent council minutes?
I'd like to answer that. I don't believe that it had anything to do with open and transparency. I believe what we had at that time was some contention because somebody felt obligated to get their quotes in there. And I think in order to prevent that and cause not so much contention, that we decided to make it bland. It's all on video. If anyone wants to watch, you can go and have that minutes there and find what you're looking for and go and watch the entire video.
You know, I'm a believer in good minutes. I think that avoids a lot of problems and discussions, and that's what you people are going to decide how open and transparent you want to be. The second question I have is, and and I've listened for the last 7 months, this council has worked to take away the mayor's authority, give the commissioners the right to solely hire and fire. My question is why? How does that benefit the city? And how would this work through with collective bargaining agreements?
I think I can answer that.
Please, go ahead.
The collective bargaining agreement, as you know, Mayor, supersedes any policy that we set. And the reality of it is, you would know as a union person, I'm a union person, you can't just fire somebody. There's disciplinary steps. The question is that if we've gone through the disciplinary steps, and this was the whole argument between Commissioner Udis and Mayor Kern, was that if Mayor Kern sees something differently than Commissioner Udis, that he can stop the whole process. And the question on the table was, well, okay, does that diminish the commissioner's authority over his department? So the whole proposition of myself, Commissioner Baldridge, Commissioner McDermott, or Commissioner Udis just firing somebody ain't gonna happen. That's not reality.
No.
You know that, and I know that. There's disciplinary steps, and there's steps you have to go through. And I don't think anybody here wants to fire anybody. It's more a matter of who's gonna have that oversight. Is it gonna be that we're transferring power into the mayor's office, or is it that the commissioner has authority over their department? That's really the question, and it's not personal. I've often said this to the mayor, we disagree on just about everything, but it's never personal. It's business. We look at things differently, and that's it.
So a couple of things. I just want to make clarification. That's not what the thing that was approved to send to the attorney for review. What was approved, and the wording in there specifically, there is a line that says the sole right to appoint and discharge will be in the commissioner's authority, and that's what Commissioner Udis wanted to put in his thing.
And then
My
you went and
understanding-
changed it and
Hold on,
said,
hold on, hold on,
understanding
wait,
That's what
is.
it says, and that's what it
hold on.
says in the state
Just
statute.
a minute, let me finish.
Sorry, please.
You know, I hear and I understand grievances and arbitration as well as anybody. I presented 7 arbitrations. Record isn't great, but it's not shabby because I was going against attorneys. I won 3, lost 4. So I understand how the damn thing works. But what really bothered me and got me going in this was that 2 commissioners took a bargaining unit person downstairs for discipline and didn't have his union steward.
We offered on
We
that.
offered, and he declined.
Should never have a meeting without the steward.
We offered to him, Mayor.
It
We're
was-
not
it
gonna-
was actually-
Did
it was a
anybody
verbal.
keep any minutes? Did anybody
This was
keep
all
any-
on paper.
I don't believe we're at liberty to be discussing some
Yeah.
personal
Right.
policies such as
And I think
this.
something like that, if
Good
you're
point.
that interested, you're welcome to go FOIA it. But nobody was ever denied any union representation around here. You have 4 union guys on this council.
And-
We
and
don't
I-
operate
And I
that way.
understand that after the meeting was over, the steward and somebody had some meetings and everything disappeared.
No, I don't think that's the case.
Didn't happen.
And I think that's a lot of hearsay. So again, you're more than welcome to come see either of us individually, and we'll talk to you openly about it. That's all I could tell you.
The other thing I wanted to make a point of, just a clarification, was, you mentioned something about that if there'd be a disagreement between like Commissioner Udis and Commissioner Kern, that Commissioner
Mayor Kern.
Mayor Kern, that wasn't what was in my proposed thing. My proposed one
Oh,
is that there was.
we've beat up on it. I know what you're saying, but
I
we're
just
just
wanna make-
regurgitating
Well, you
now.
said
We need to move on.
I just
Yeah,
wanna,
exactly.
I wanna make a point of something because you said something that wasn't accurate.
What
That
did I
is-
say that wasn't accurate?
You said that.
For the
the-
sake of time, we need to
Hold-
move on. This
hold-
isn't up for debate.
hold on.
We've already passed, this is an ordinance that is already on the books.
Okay.
Unless you're bringing it up to vote on it, I don't see why we're gonna sit here and discuss this again and waste everyone's time.
Okay. Well,
I'm
when
happy to-
someone, I believe I have a right to
Go ahead,
comment
go
if
ahead.
someone said, thank
Say
you,
whatever
thank
you
you.
want. Go ahead.
Actually, we don't in
I'm-
public comment.
It's the public's time, but go ahead, say whatever you want. I have nothing more to say. I believe
Okay.
I've tried to set
All
the
right.
record straight with it.
Well, the record you
Hold
said,
on, Brandon.
hold on. The record you
Hold on.
said was that if Commissioner Udis and Commissioner Kern disagree, that Mayor Kern is gonna decide what it is, and that is not what mine said. Mine
No,
said,
that it stops the process is what I said.
What is this
Correct.
gonna resolve?
I'm just trying to make it clear.
Okay,
So, all right, please, go ahead.
made it clear.
Everybody put your popcorn away.
Really?
Yes. I just wanted to make the announcement, I'm gonna use your public comment section to make an announcement. The We Are Oglesby organization Association is opening up our grants for a fundraiser that we're hosting in 2024. And we have some funds that we would like to share and help grow some smaller organizations here in town. So we're going to open up a grant application process where any Oglesby nonprofit, club, or organization or grouping of people can apply for some funds from us in return for some volunteers at one of our fundraisers coming up in 2024. The application process, or the application will be posted up on our We Are Oglesby website, so if you guys want to go there, check it out. We hope to partner with a group so that we can give them some funds from our fundraiser to use to their organization's needs. Maybe there's some supplies or equipment, whatever an organization might need. But we would like to open that opportunity up. So if you guys in town could help spread the word to your friends, nonprofits, clubs, organizations, we'd like to get the ball rolling on the grant process. January, I believe, is when we will make a decision on the, I should have wrote this down before I came up here, on the process. But yeah, check out the We Are Oglesby page for your grant application.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
all right, next up, number 20, commissioner reports. Commissioner Stefanelli.
Okay, I'd like to thank Patty and the clerk's office for setting up our training portal through our insurance cooperative. Soon we'll be able to provide annual compliance training to our people, so, a lot of like hearing protection, hearing conservation, that kind of stuff that's mandatory training, we can now give it to them, and it'd be simple. I want to wish the residents and all the employees of the city and you guys and your families a happy Thanksgiving and a healthy Thanksgiving, and I look forward to the holidays here.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Commissioner McDermott.
All right. The leaf vac will continue until December 1st. Have your leaves piled on the berm and not on the streets, please. I understand the wind is blowing. Just do the best you can. We would appreciate it. Lead line surveys. I can't express the importance of this need for the EPA. You should be receiving an update in the mail soon. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Baldridge.
First off, I'd like to wish my friend and fellow Commissioner McDermott a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sorry the deer didn't cooperate. We're happy to announce that Wes received word that the signs for the disc golf course shipped today. With any luck, he believes we can officially open the course next week. It's been very busy all the time already, so we're excited to see how many people will come once it's officially open. The dog park also seems to have someone there every time I go by. It's great to see that wasted space down there come to life and be enjoyed after all this time. Reminder to check out Oglesby Facebook page for winter activities provided by JP and our Recreations Department. Great activities for the children to get out of the house and enjoy over these cold winter months. Decorating contest is on again for this year. We look forward to seeing everyone do their best decorating and possibly win some money off their electric bill. More info on Oglesby Facebook page. Don't forget about the City of Oglesby's hometown Christmas event being held on December 9th at 2 p.m. Santa will be in Seneca Square from 2 to 4, and the City of Oglesby will provide hot cocoa and live music. Participating downtown businesses and organizations will once again be offering fun family and children activities as well. Please check the city Facebook page for updates. Then, concluding the day's events, stick around for We Are Oglesby organization's second annual Winter Parade. They are still accepting volunteers, entries of floats, vehicles, and decorated UTVs. This is such a great day in Oglesby, and we hope everyone can make it. These are the days children and adults alike will cherish forever. Enjoy, and have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you. All right, Mayor's report. Starved Rock Runners will be putting on the annual turkey trot on Thanksgiving. Registration and packets are available at the Elks 4 to 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Hope everybody has a very happy Thanksgiving. For everybody out there, please be safe for those that are traveling. On Saturday, December 9th, as Commissioner Baldridge already mentioned, Oglesby hosting a hometown Christmas from 2 to 4, and We Are Oglesby will have its second annual winter parade at 4 p.m. It was fantastic on its first one, which is always a super challenge, so I look forward to what they're going to get done this year. And that's really all I have. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
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 I was gonna say, most
Aye.
of the city.
We're adjourned.
So when are you leaving, Jason, in the morning?
It depends usually if there's something going on at night. Sometimes we go up Wednesday night. If not, we'll go first thing Thursday morning.
All day turkey, huh?
Turkey. Well, my wife's.
Man, I
making-
need
so-
those EPA surveys